Welcome back, folks, to the Business Blast on TedMag.com. This episode of the show and every episode of the show is brought to you by Satco. Go to SATCO.com, baby. That's Satco.com. They do the light thing. They do the right thing, Greg.
They do, and they have a lot of everything you need for lighting. Any fixtures, bulbs, parts, components. Satco's got it. Check those guys out.
This is a weird time, and we're coming at you in black and white, Greg. What's going on?
Yeah, it's getting weird out here.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So what I wanted to ask you about was how important, remember Nito Cobain?
Yes, yep.
And in these unprecedented times, his words, when you're at your weakest, you must appear your strongest. How important is keeping up appearances in the age of pandemic viruses?
I think it depends who you are to some degree. For us, it's very important. We're doing a lot of this, but I think as a leader, it's important, and depends on what your role is in your business or your life or wherever you're at. But in general, I would say that you need to have the appearance, you need to have the right image, you need to come across the right way, no matter what the situation is out there. You need to, I say it a lot. I coach football, and you know that, and I always tell kids that they have to control what they can control. And you can control your appearance, you can control your image. So keep charge of that thing. Come in hot.
Put a tie on, it was one of those, weird things you get, when you're down and out, buy yourself a Cadillac. Set the tone.
Just look right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like we need our leaders to start having some swagger again. There's something to this whole thing where there's a sheltering in place is kind of like cowering in place. Who's afraid of the big bad virus?
Where's your mask?
Yeah, put a mask on. No, put a tie on. Put a jacket on. But so there's that. There's that bravado, macho kind of thing where it's like, you got to keep, when do you back away? When do you stay strong? These kind of questions come out. When do you level with the troops? So you have these appearances. We did the leadership series, of course, and Get a Grip on Lighting. Everybody we're going to come out of this strong. We know that everybody's not going to come out of this strong. My wife just got an email from her yoga studio. We're closed, permanently closed.
Gone.
Not reopening. Sad, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of cases of that. That's going to hit the lighting business too. And so all the tough talk, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. That's all appearances, right? When do you come out, Signify comes out 25% pay cut across the board for everybody. That's not keeping up appearances. That's in the news.
Right.
When do you start to level with the people? When do you say, I look great, I bought a Cadillac, but when does that conversation start?
I think, it should be happening almost right away. I think the more realistic you are as a leader, the better people respond to you and the better they act. They trust you that way. If you tell them, here's where things are at and there's some uncertainties and you lay it out for them, I think you're doing the right thing there versus waiting or there are unknowns. People have to know that, and you have to, I think, sometimes be willing to say that or say that you screwed up something or I should have done it this way or take ownership of it. And I think that comes right away. I think that should happen now.
I think it's staged.
Okay.
I think a good leader stages it because what we do, if there's one thing we know, we can't predict the future. And everybody has a limited amount of capital and savings. And while you may, have your appearances might be strong in the beginning, when do you start dealing with the brass tacks? When do you start saying, yeah, we have to close that division. We have to close that branch. We have to let some of our friends go. We have to, I think you stage it. And you
I think that's fair. Yeah, but you have to be ready for it and know it. And And I think the more openly you communicate it, though, the better. It was just kind of the point I was saying. But staging it for sure makes sense.
How much of this do you think people are thinking about? Like how many of the leaders that we spoke to in lighting, whether recorded or not recorded, off air, on air, are actually looking at these stages? Looking at, I remember we talked to Anthony Corey, and he was saying that yes, he's plotted out a couple different paths. On some of those paths, there's a heck of a lot of layoffs, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking to what Fulham is doing. I'm just saying that, yeah, you got to look at all your options. I think what you do is you posture in the beginning. It sounds rotten, but I think what you do is you posture, and then you work your way away from that position based on the information that comes in, because you can't control the demand. You can't control the reaction to this on the back end.
Right.
How do you deal with the fact that people don't want to come to work anymore?
Right. It's going to be an interesting one. And until that gets back up to normal, if it gets back up to normal, there could be long-term effects there.
I had a call the other day of a lady from a law office. She's like, yeah, we want to put UVC lights in our office.
So they can come back into work, huh?
I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Because we advertise for UV lighting for selling bulbs, right? And we crank that up because, whatever. So we're getting these calls. And she's like, yeah, we want to have a sanitation strategy. We want lighting to be part of it. Like, well, what do you guys do? It's a law office.
No, you don't want that.
I thought, you ever heard of the ozone layer? I mean, the ozone, that's what stops the UVC from killing everything on Earth, right? So, yeah. Remember when we had to protect the ozone layer? Yeah, that was to stop UVC from coming in. So, but I mean, the posturing, the appearances. Right now, we're starting to see the repositioning from different companies. We're starting to see the closing down of small businesses. Maybe some giants will fall. How does a leader reposition his appearance or her appearance in this time? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's all going to be situational. But no, you're right. I think the key thing you're pointing out is that you need to plan it. To some degree, or plan as much as you can plan. You can't predict what's going to happen, but you can plan ahead for if the situational occurrences happen. When they happen, you're ready for it. You have a response. You have a way to handle it. And I think that's the key, is to plan ahead.
This has been the Business Blast. It's brought to you by Satco. Go to satco.com. We do the light thing. We do the right thing. That's satco.com. Thank you for listening. I thought